I Am Me, written by Christian Santos, presented by Gampa Seniors and directed by the writer. Another original drama for young people that deals with trans issues. Now this is an incredibly complex subject.
This boy is me, but when I look in the mirror, I don't see that boy.
So all this will be here, standing, ¿vale? And then we need to move it so when they say go, who moves each flat? So look, number one is there, who moves the rolling flats? There meant to be 4 people, I see 3.
The way that I do the plays with the youth team is that it's all about them and what they want to express. And I always start with a meeting with all of them and discussing what is it that you want to do a play about. First of all, do you want to do a comedy? Do you want to do a serious play? Do you want it to be educational? Do you want it to be drama? So we discuss it. We meet for hours on a Saturday. I meet all the different age groups and I get ideas from them. I want it to be about this and that and all different topics that they feel affect them and are relevant to them. So I always start the drama festival not knowing where the play is going to go because I don't know what the play is going to be about.
Who you are is about how you are with those around you. Are you given a place? Or do you make one for yourself? This is true for all. But for some of us, finding our place is harder. For those of us who are different, we need to fight for our place because there are those around us who feel like their place is threatened by us having ours.
We had a lot of different topics. Identity was just one of the few. There was so many, and eventually we decided to do identity as it's not something that's spoken about a lot, but it is something that is happening and it is something that is concerning a lot of people nowadays.
I can speak really fast and you will still be able to understand everything I say because I use all my consonants, but you at the moment are all rushing and just mushing up your words, so no one will understand what you're saying. You can be pacey and correct.
We came up with a lot of ideas. It wasn't just I am me from the beginning, it was many ideas that had nothing to do with what we actually came up with, and it just became I Am Me.
I didn't feel like the other girls.
I remember one time going to a friend's party. My mum dressed me in a pink skirt with a white flowery blouse and a pink cardigan.
I hated every second of it.
We slowly realized what everyone was thinking about, the direction of the topics. We found that a lot of it was based around identity. People are we were very focused on identity. So then that slowly evolved into the play I Am Me.
Well, around December last year, Christian Santos, the writer and director of I Am Me, came in contact with myself and a few other transgender individuals, and was in the process of he hadn't begun writing the play yet, but he was in the process of doing primary research and just wanting to hear as many experiences as possible before setting out and actually writing down the play.
This is about identity. This is about being who you are.
Come over this, we were very closely working with people within the trans community in Gibraltar. Not only us, but mostly our scriptwriter and our director, Christian. He worked to make sure that everything that we said is in the right vein.
And accept that everyone's story isn't the same as
William,
ours.
the entrance video. Yep.
That I've always wanted. Wow. Maybe I should stop thinking about myself.
Oh, the scene at the beginning of Gender and Sex is amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. YouTube is a bit slow still. It needs energy up. It's like, for example, Danny, you start great. Matthew, bring it down a bit.
With the youth team especially, they always want to tackle a topic and start with the audience, take them on a journey, and hopefully they will come up with a different point of view on what they started the play.
Growing up wasn't easy. I found myself confused for the most part of it, to be honest. Everybody seemed so happy and carefree, going about their lives quite happily, whilst I was engrossed in my own misery.
I feel like the fact that Christian didn't pick like a linear sort of narrative where I suppose you would have maybe in the beginning a girl character, and then it's like halfway through they switch the character to be a boy character. Like I thought it was really interesting that they had the two actors, like a male and female, playing the same person, just because I feel like a lot of people in the audience, if someone comes out as trans, if they don't go through surgery or have hormones or anything, you just see Sammy, the girl, in this case. But the fact that you could see both, I feel like that dynamic made people realize, oh, like even though I think what I'm seeing is a girl, like this person is actually a boy. And I feel like the fact that they had these two characters really helped people understand that more and understand like what it is that a trans person is going through and their struggles, is because maybe you're just seeing the exterior but you're not seeing like how they truly identify.
It's difficult to describe. Imagine being trapped in a box.
Now, when you're young, you don't know what it is, but you're desperately trying to get out. You try and keep yourself hidden. Remember, you don't really see people who feel like you. It's like your own personal prison. Except everyone else tells you you're free.
Everyone sees an average teenage girl but she doesn't feel that way, so she identifies as a male, and she feels very trapped in a body that she doesn't identify with. So she is going on a journey, well, he is going on a journey with her own identity and basically telling her friends, her family, that she is male.
Isn't that what we all want? To fit in? To feel normal? It's like that. You're all a bit like, hey. And then when Amy comes, now we need to go through that a million times because it was a bit fuffy. But it's quite powerful, the play is quite nice. You need to now free up.
One of the downs was that we found it really, really hard to do the whole choral speaking, as there was a lot of the time where we all had to speak at the same time and we had to keep with the same pace. We all had to remember the exact word-for-word lines.
We want those
other people
to love us,
to accept us.
We found it quite hard, as that was one of the first things that we did, and still towards one of the last days we still couldn't get a few of the lines right, but we finally pulled through and we did it. And at the end it was just really, really amazing to be able to finally get it right.
You are you.
So how it started was they said, I want the play to teach people about transgender youth. I want the people in the audience who are young to feel like this is relevant to them as young people, the journey of this child.
There's a thin line between not knowing and not being told.
So what is trans about your gender? Your sex is female, right?
It's a thin line.
There is a huge difference between sex and gender.
What?
Sex is what's between your legs, gender's what's in your brain.
I don't care what's between your legs, Sam.
I mean that your sex is dictated by your physical self. But your gender is much more complicated, and a lot of the time it doesn't match.
What do you mean it doesn't match? You're either male or female.
Yeah.
Well,
And they wanted the older generation to not only learn about transgender issues, but also about young people and their journeys and decisions that they have to take. How things are a choice and how things aren't a choice, how they can decide to do things and how things are just chosen for them. And it's about telling this journey.
What's the line before Tanisha flops?
Don't look back.
Don't look back already?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't look back!
Don't look back.
You're marvellous.
At the moment, a lot of people feel that being trans or being transgender is like a trend, and I like wholeheartedly disagree with that completely.
Don't apologize for who you are.
You are glorious.
You are magnificent.
You're amazing.
You are fascinating.
You are marvelous.
You are formidable.
You are wonderful.
You are unbelievable.
You are incredible.
You are stunning.
You are you.
There were some lovely directorial choices all the way through this play, actually. One of the most admirable things about this performance is that Christian has taken a very difficult subject and he's allowed an audience to laugh at it. And that really does help us settle into the message. And that comes from strong direction and a good grasp of theatrical ebb and flow. And what is really important is that Christian has not lost sight of the fact that this is first and foremost a play and not a lecture. Because when I first read the script, I thought, oh, this could get a bit preachy. This could be something that's just going to be rammed down our throats all night and it's going to leave everyone feeling really uncomfortable. None of that whatsoever. We were able to laugh, we were able to laugh with it, laugh at it, the characters laughed at themselves, and they created a brilliant sense of togetherness within the room, I felt.
There was one time I went to Gampa where Christian was, well, he would hold his rehearsals, and I met with the two co-stars, and I saw a scene that they were doing. I gave them a little bit of feedback, but I don't think they needed it. Really, they just, I think that they knew what they were doing, and they were doing the character justice, and I don't know, I didn't really need to be there. They were doing good on their own. And after that, I watched a rehearsal, and again they were doing really well. It was like I think it was like a week or two before the drama festival, and after that I just said that I didn't want to see the play again, and I wanted to see it like with everybody else and have the same experience with everybody else.